Hi, this is János, it's Revert Audio, and today I'm answering a question for Antoine about Voigt pipes. He has built a spruce Voigt pipe, and he has noticed that there is a resonant band between 190 to 300 hertz, peaking at 245 hertz with his speakers. Other than that, he found them very lively, good sounding, but there's that 6 dB peak at 245 hertz, falling mainly between 200 and 300 hertz. That is just really detracting from the experience, and he was asking how to take care of that and whether I have experienced that. And Antoine, with my build, I have not experienced that, and my suspicion is that there is probably a thickness of the wood, and if you go thinner than a certain minimal thickness, then that extra resonant band will start to just get more and more overblown between the 200 and 300 hertz region. And so for that, how can we treat that? And what Antoine emailed me is that when he tried bracing the front and the back of the speakers, it didn't help the issue, and it just really destroyed the sound of the speaker, made it sound dead. I think that was what he reported. And what could be done in that case to improve the sound? Let me see, where do I see? Okay, here is the camera, so I should look there so you can see as if I'm looking at the camera. Well, the thing is here. Anyway, so after this intermission, let's just by the way, I'm still here at the UCLA campus, just like maybe going around slowly. It's getting close to sunset. It's the end of the golden hour, so the lights are still nice. Hopefully you are getting nice visuals. And so basically what to do. So first we need to identify what part of the speaker cabinet is producing that resonant frequency. And based on the observed frequencies, because the wavelength that corresponds to 250 hertz, like the middle of that resonant region, that's roughly 1.4 meters. So we are looking at a long panel. So my suspicion would be either the front panel or the rear panel, or both of them causing the issue. How you can find out what is exactly doing it? Get a stethoscope, like what the physicians use, the doctors, to listen to your lung, and play the music where you hear that resonant sounds, and with the stethoscope move around the surface of the cabinet and find where it is most resonant, where you hear that overdone bass in that region, and where you hear it, note down what points of the cabinets is and what is the region, because I suspect it won't be just a single point where you can hear the 200 to 300 hertz overblown. It will be probably a longer, like a half a meter long section of the panel, or even longer. Just note down what is that half meter section that where you hear that loudest. So normally when you go with the stethoscope, it should be like listening into the music. Anywhere where you touch the stethoscope, just lightly, really lightly, gently touch on the cabinet, because if you press it hard, then that prevents the resonances, so that you won't be able to diagnose properly. Just touch as lightly as possible, and it's like hearing the music clearly through the stethoscope. It's a very beautiful experience for everyone with any kind of speakers that you have. I warmly recommend for everyone to get a stethoscope. You can get a stethoscope through Amazon or eBay, really cheap, probably under $20 or euros. And it's a really good device for your health as well, to check in your family members or yourself, and most importantly, your speakers. Very few people talk about that, but that's what my mentors 210 taught me, that the best friend of an loudspeaker designer is a stethoscope. So yeah, that's what I've been practicing. I made video on this before, so I can't recall the title exactly, but I think maybe stethoscope is it will be in my Voigt pipe playlist. I think that video will be for surely there, about maybe like identifying Voigt pipe resonances. Title might be something like that. Anyway, so now I'm just reiterating that you just get your stethoscope and just gently move it around. Also, if you don't have a stethoscope and don't want to buy one, you can also use your fingers, just gently, lightly tap on the surface of the cabinet, and you will be able to feel the resonances. So that region of the cabinet that resonates more, you will feel your fingertip, that use your index finger because that's the most sensitive, and then you will be able to identify what part of the cabinet resonates more than the rest. And with your finger, it's not as sensitive as your ears, so you won't be able to tell the frequency of the resonance. But Antoine has sent me a measurement of the output response of the speaker, and really the cabinet has a massive, like a 6 dB peak on top of everything else. So wherever you will feel, Antoine, in your case, the most resonance in your cabinet, that will be in this region, the 200 Hz to 300 Hz region, in your case, causing that. So because you already have your measurement, in this case you can also use your fingers, because you know that whatever resonates, you feel vibrations the most, that's the region that's responsible for this 200 to 300 Hz. And just identify, is it like concentrating in a smaller area or a longer area, and that will tell you that you will need to apply something in that area to transform this resonance. Now, the generic loudspeaker building world, most everyone would tell you to dampen the cabinet, but that's pretty much destroying what you have with the spruce and destroying the advantage of a live cabinet. And I would recommend to you to do what the violin makers and the violin family makers do, so like cello and double bass. And what they do is that they have a device called the bass bar, and that's on the inside of the top of the top panel of a violin, cello, or a double bass. And that's basically I have in my pocket, I'm prepared for this video, believe it or not, like a piece of a stick. So now this is just a stick, and you will need like hopefully there is still leftover material from the spruce that you use to make your cabinet, and just get something that like a piece of spruce that's like a half a meter long approximately. I would say probably between like 50 centimeters to 60-70. This is just guesswork or ballpark at this point. I cannot give any more specifics without really looking at the cabinet and identifying how long that resonant area is. And what you need to do is like cut a long thin strip of spruce that covers that entire resonant range where you feel those really strong vibrations, and then apply a piece of spruce there. And how big should it be? I would say about 5 millimeter wide and maybe 7 millimeter tall, and just round the top down and attach that on the front of the cabinet. And how to attach that in the front of the cabinet? Attach it to that region where you feel that strong resonance coming from. So what I suspect at this moment, that it will likely come from the area on the front panel, the area below the driver and the port mouth. So between the mouth and the driver, that region, and there just place that spruce bass bar. there. In the beginning, because you don't know what will be the location that will be the optimal location for the bass bar, so what you need to do is turn on your system, play music, and play music where you have that offending 200 to 300 hertz region, and just with your hand just press it against the cabinet to that place where that you have identified that you have the resonance is there. And in the beginning, just press extremely lightly, and maybe have someone at the sweet spot listening, have your friend come over so he listens that as you change the pressure, and you can play around like slightly changing the location of the bar on the front of the pipe, like you can go like center it, go off center, make it like beginning, I mean like the middle of the driver, imagine my nose is the driver, and angle it out towards the side of the front panel. How is it when it's like perfectly straight? How is it when you move it to one side or the other side? So try out how is it when you go it lower, you go it higher. Like what I suspect is that if you like keep it like 4 or 5 centimeters away from the driver, and then probably have it extend down to the mouth of the port. That will be my guess at this point, that will be your optimal bass bar, basically almost covering the entire bottom half of the front panel that's under the driver. And then what that does is that it does not kill the resonances, but that extra support will help to alter the resonating frequency of the front panel. So instead of that resonant hump that peaks between 200 and 300 hertz, you are basically dispersing, you are altering the resonant properties of the wood, so it's not going to shift the energy towards that 200 to 300 hertz peak, but in that region it will be more evenly distributed. And then you will also notice that what you have noticed, the 1 kilohertz range is less than expected. You will notice that region should go up, because the energy does not get shifted to the 200 to 300 range. So partially that's why your 1 kilohertz is lower than your dampened cabinet's measurement, because both of them have the same energy, total energy output. But in this case, this cabinet, because it just tends to resonate more at the 200 to 300 hertz region, it shifts the energy output, it converts it, it acts like a speed gear, like a gearbox, and just massively dumps most of the energy to that region. And by installing a longer bass bar, that will prevent the cabinet from shifting the energy to that mid-bass region, upper mid-bass region, or mid-bass region, and that way the energy will be also not, the rest of the frequency range will be more evenly represented, because the energy is not going to get robbed from those higher frequencies and shunted down to that low frequency. So that's my advice for now. So I think that should take care of that range. So you will notice that I suspect probably one big culprit will be the lower part of the front panel, and also the back panel. The whole back panel might also play a role with that. And if you notice with your stethoscope measurements or finger tapping that the back panel resonates more than the front panel, then install a bar there. But I suspect you probably have to install a bar on both the front and the rear. And in the beginning, just try the bar, and very light touch, so you are not using any glue, anything. Just hold it there with your finger while your friend is listening for the change in the sound. Just listen to one speaker at a time, so have the other channel just turned off for the moment, just like place a load resistor there, or if you can with your source, just have signal output on that channel only. And then if you just really lightly place it there, and the output already shifts, then it means that you can get by with a smaller bar than what you have now. And if you really have to push it there, then it means that for that region to even out, it means that you get the right size base bar that you have already. So I suspect that the length of the bar will have to be the same, but what you can do is if you just need a light pressure to apply, then shave off from the bar. So keep the length the same, but at the top, make the bar not 7 millimeter, just cut it down to maybe like 3 millimeters, and have the middle of the bar, this middle section of the bar, like come up like 5 millimeters or like 7 millimeters, and then get the edges. You can shave them even to like 2 millimeters thick for like the upper third, lower third, and only in the middle just have a hump there. So maybe that will be enough. I suspect probably that will be enough to convert the energy, and if not, then you will need like a whole bar. So probably what I recommend is, if you already have material for more bars, then just cut several ones and experiment with them, which is the one that will work the best. And once you have it working, then you can mount it on the surface, and you can use glue, like wood glue, and just glue it there, and tighten it there strongly, and once it's glued, then you can remove the clamps. So tighten them with clamps, and then when it's glued, then you are ready to go. But that comes only after you have established what is the best region for for the base bar, and what is the best size and shape. So just keep me updated of your experiments, and I will confirm with you before you glue it on that how to best optimize for that. So I think with this method you will be really able to shift that extra hump in that region. And thank you for this wonderful question, and I'm really glad that you decided to build the spruce pipes, and not just decided, you already decided them, but you already had your the cabinet maker finish them. Thank you. I hope this was interesting for everyone, and have a great day, great week, and everyone else who wants to build speakers, just enjoy it. It's tremendous fun. Bye bye.